Hey, look, it finally started recording. This, I got to tell you, as a diehard, lifelong, hardcore sports fan, this warms my heart just a little bit. The Fever fan reaction already in preseason to what we are getting from the Indiana Fever because they have high expectations. They know sports. They are here for the basketball and they do not like what they are seeing. And they are holding the Indiana Fever organization's feet to the fire as they should. But you know, just full disclosure, I come from a fan base that wanted to fire our head coach after a 2-2 start in a season in which we ended up winning the Super Bowl by completely cooking and embarrassing the trying to three-peat Kansas City Chiefs. So, that's high expectations, right? That's the type of fan base we are with our organization. It is contend for a title every single season. Anything less than that is unacceptable. And we are starting to see that now. Caitlin Clark is entering her third year, right? I think a lot of the wishy washy kind of, oh, look, Caitlin, novel thing type of fans are falling by the wayside, and the true basketball fans are sticking with it, and they are not liking what they're seeing. They don't like what they saw in the offseason. Look, everyone tried to be optimistic, right? I put an optimistic spin on a lot of the signings, lack of signings, so forth with the Indiana Fever as best I could, being, hey, you know what? We can't just trash everything right away. We don't know for sure. Let's maybe take a look. Let's try and be positive about it. But now we're starting to see the results of that. And there are some serious issues with this team, some serious issues with the roster and how it was put together, some serious issues with how Stephanie White is coaching. Caitlin Clark was fantastic in the first quarter. 14 of her 21 points came in the first quarter. 19 of her 21 points came in the first half. Concerned that she only got to take 6 shots. And yes, it was great that she got to the free throw line, but I'm still not liking what I'm seeing from the offense. And the Indiana Fever fans are not liking anything they're seeing. We're going to get to a couple of the issues here in a moment. Right, here you go. Yeah, of course. Someone's pushing for this now. Welcome Cam Brink, because yes, they actually need a player like Cam Brink. Do I think they will get Cam Brink? No. Do I think there are even talks happening? No. Do I have faith that Amber and Kelly are on the phone looking for the type of player they didn't get in the offseason when they could have signed anyone? Well, no. But that doesn't change the fact that they need to make changes. Fever hurting her brand and her income. Everyone wants to see logo threes and great passes, not Stephanie's boring offense. Cece was exciting and ruthless, not anymore. So we get a little bit of that angle, but I'm more interested in the response to what we're seeing with the style, but also the roster. Fever got exposed, lack of shooters and size. Yeah, they were terrible from 3-point range. I think they had 4 all game. I think, right? We're not getting good floor spacing. Kelsey Mitchell was 0 for 8. Caitlin Clark was 2 of 3. Her only taking 3. I know she only played 16 minutes, but Kelsey Mitchell only played 17 minutes, and she managed to jack up twice as many shots as Caitlin and more than almost 3 times as many threes, 8 to Caitlin's 3. And we're gonna circle back to Kelsey in a minute because we got some important things we need to talk about there. No, I'm not going to trash. I'm just going to again be honest about what we're getting from the Indiana Fever. Please get her Hannah Stolke from. Oh, by the way, just side note, for a lot of people talking about that, and she didn't get drafted. She wasn't invited to any camps. From what I'm hearing, Hannah has made the decision to not pursue pro basketball. She's going in another direction. I don't know what that is. I don't know if she's just pursuing a career now. She's going to go back to school. But anyway, y'all don't even now to finish that. Actually, let's go ahead. Need someone who knows how to run and catch the ball, get rebounds, and screen properly. 100% the case. By the way, does this sound a little bit like a broken record? A little bit like 2024, a little bit like 2025. Y'all don't even build around her. CC needs a lot of bigs. She will get mauled to death in the regular season. I agree partially with that. They definitely do need some bigs, but if you're going to have bigs, you need bigs that can run, right? Tell Stephanie White to drop her ego and stubbornness, watch post Olympics fever, make some post position trades, and get this thing going the way it should be. Such a disappointment that we are still here. Caitlin deserves better. The rule is when Clark is cooking, take her out. Yeah, Stephanie White hates her. I would say get her on the ball and start running up some screens for her. Her work on the half court is special, and in transition, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Stop having her sitting in the wing. That is one of the worst places for her game. A lot of missed opportunities when some can't catch the frickin' ball from CC's passes. Preseason, better get their crap together. Also, everyone needs to be a practice shooting till your arms fall off. Didi, what the hell? Yeah, Damiris Dantas. I mean, she got good open looks, but she couldn't hit anything. Neither could Caitlin Clark. I think Dantas and Mitchell combined were. Did Dantas make one? I'm going off the top of my head, but they were something like 0 of 15, 1 of 15, something like that from three. I'm ready for regular season so everyone can play. CC great. This was hard to watch. No one got hurt. Time for some 5-on-5 up and down. Yeah, they are not thrilled, and there is a reason they're not thrilled. And the consensus is again the front office did a poor job in the offseason of constructing a roster to compete, a roster that can win games. I mentioned this a little bit in the post game video, but because that was post game, you had no idea I was really talking about it. And I don't know. I don't know if like everyone's checking out. They're kind of done with all this, and CC's losing that luster. And people are like, she's not playing like herself. She's not being allowed to. So we're out because post games, even when I do them the next day, usually do really well. It's gonna be one of the worst. The one I just put out this morning is going to be one of the worst performing videos on the channel. So, we'll see. Maybe y'all are checking out too. But again, the construction of the roster has been terrible. And yes, fans can be demanding. They'd be like, oh, get this superstar, go get this superstar. And it's not always that easy, of course, right? Every other team's trying to get them as well. But no decent, competent, qualified front office is going to skip getting a backup center. There is not a backup center on this roster. Are there players you can trot out in that position? Yes. Are they backup centers? No. Dantas is not a backup center. She's a power forward. Michaela Timpson is not a backup center. She's a power forward. In fact, though, I'd like to see her develop a little bit more of her game with the ball. Although, I mean, I like what I've seen so far because I think with her length and athleticism, man, Michaela Timpson could turn into something at small forward. Talk about mismatches. Her quickness, her athleticism, her vertical. If she develops a bit of an outside shot, we already know she can defend. I mean, I saw her get out there on Paige Becker's out at the 3-point line before Paige started going off. Paige wanted no part of that. She saw Michaela Timpson on there. She made a little bit of a step. She realized I can't even drive past this lady who's, got a wingspan 3 times my height. I can't do anything. I got to give up the ball. So, Michaela Timpson can play center, but she's undersized. Monique Billings, power forward. Y'all know I've been high on Monique Billings, although she hasn't looked comfortable yet in the first 2 preseason games. But again, she's been very good as a backup elsewhere. And the Fever decided, hey, for our run at a championship, we're going to bring in a backup to be our starting power forward. And we're not going to get a backup center. And oh, yeah, we're going to stack the roster with a bunch of short guards. And hence, they get out rebounded by the freaking Dallas Wings 45-26. Now, I'm all for at times being able to go small and run. I think Raven can guard 1 through 3, right? We may see if Stephanie White gets smart and or desperate, we may see, Mitchell Clark and Raven Johnson out there together with Raven Johnson taking that 3 spot, which then makes you wonder, we got a logjam. Where's Lexi Hull go? Where's Sophie Cunningham go, right? You may see smaller lineups where you've got Caitlin Kelsey, Raven, and Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham with AB or Michaela Timpson, which, by the way, I'm not sure how it would go with rebounding, but it would be a much better defensive team than a lot of what I've seen out there from the Indiana Fever. So they're going to have to make adjustments with what they do if they're not making any changes to the roster. Now, Justine Bassat, having her actually on the 12-player roster going into the season would be great because she can run. She can play in the open court. She's one of the deadliest three-point shooters in the league already. We saw that early in game one. Obviously, Stephanie White didn't like the white girl that they brought in doing well. So like Chloe Bibby, she mysteriously now has a lower leg injury, and we have no idea what that means or how long it's going to take to heal. We do know it happened after Justine had that great short debut and said she wanted to make the 12-player roster. Stephanie Wright said, hold up, you're injured. You're injured now. Justine, you're injured. If you want to stay here, you're going to be quiet about the fact that you're injured. So, that's kind of a bit of a problem as well. We've seen this last year. Again, low trust with all this as well. And I want to play really quick for you a short clip. This is Zach Ertz, who was a longtime Philadelphia Eagle at tight end, hasn't been there for a number of years now. I think it was in 22, 23 maybe, when they moved on. But he's talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and the fan base. And I think this is very relevant for all of you with Indiana Fever fans and what you just saw. Do not apologize for having high expectations. A lot of people are going to say, oh, you're always complaining. You're always being negative. No, those are just losers, right? Those are just losers who want to justify being losers. Having high expectations for yourself, having high expectations for others is not whining and criticizing and complaining. But listen to this from Zach.
The thing about Philly, obviously, I was there for 9 years. The demands, the day-to-day demands, the day-to-day pressure just feel different being in that building. And I think a lot of it stems from the demands of the fans in that city. And going, what did they go, 11-5 this year? It just isn't good enough. It's just, and I don't think that's the case in every building in every city. And obviously, people got fired for that record, and that's just not the case in a lot of places. And so I think the demand, it starts at the top. Obviously, I think I have a ton of respect and love for Mr. Lurie, and he kind of sets the tone. He sets the expectation for the building every day. And so I think a lot of it is just the demands of playing there. No one's going to be happy with anything but a Super Bowl. And for better or for worse, I don't think that's the case in every building. The thing about
Did you hear that, Fever fans? Does that sound kind of like what the true basketball fans, the true Caitlin Clark fans want to be? Fever organization. Did you hear that? You talk about wanting to be the Apple of the WNBA. This is what that means. Really, really high expectations. And if you don't meet them, you don't get chances. You're gone. The Eagles won their division again. I think it's the first back-to-back NFC East division winners in like 20 years. We did it then too. But people got fired, and the fans were screaming bloody murder because it was less than what our expectations were for this team in this past season. Fever got to understand that is the heat coming after them. And this crap that they're putting out there, the roster that they're putting together, thinking this is good enough because this is the way the WNBA has always been, complete BS. They need to up their game because I'm going to finish with this, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. They didn't want to show you that second level in Cambridge in that game last night. Early in the game, the announcer talked about, all these fans here. And then the camera panned around lower level. You saw a lot of empty seats. I did a video on it, right? Tons of empty seats. They didn't even show the upper level because there were hundreds and hundreds of thousands of empty seats for Caitlin Clark. I don't care if it's preseason. It's Caitlin Clark. And the tickets were rock bottom prices. Fans are fed up. They don't like what they're seeing from this organization, and I can't blame them. So changes need to be made. Stephanie White needs to learn to adapt and evolve. She cannot continue doing the same stuff that she is doing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out this video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the drill. Hype on mobile, notification bell. I will talk to you later.